Hi guys, I wanted to do a review of Delvaux handbags today and kind of introduce you to the brand, tell you everything about them, talk about the Brilliant and the Tempete designs and a few other features of kind of what sets this luxury handbag brand apart. It's one of those brands that sometimes goes under the radar. It's kind of less known, or you might have seen it but not realize you're seeing it. It doesn't scream logos, much I love a good logo bag. It's definitely kind of more of an elegant, reserved bag that if you know, you know. So once you know, I'll kind of like tell you how to just spot a Delvaux bag, you'll know. So Delvaux handbags are one of those brands that's known for its quality and its excellent craftsmanship. It's often compared to Hermes, so I'm going to talk about the similarities and differences and if I think they're similar or not. Everyone has their own opinion, but I just want to kind of point out the differences. And I wanted to take a closer look at two of the most iconic styles, which are the Brilliant and the Tempete, and kind of how they got their names, how their designs came about, and the differences between the two as well. So Delvaux is actually a Belgian company. A lot of people think it's French. It's made in France and Belgium, but it was originally founded in 1829 by Charles Delvaux in Brussels in Belgium. And then the brand kind of evolved from just doing luggage to 1908 is when they first came out with their first luxury handbag. So I kind of did my research. I'm like really into I go down a rabbit hole looking at bags. I absolutely love them. That's why there's tons of bag reviews and brand reviews on here. I kind of went down a rabbit hole researching and kind of looked at the different companies to make sure they were the oldest and the first. So Hermes was founded in 1837, followed by Mira in 1849, Louis Vuitton in 1854, and Chanel in 1910. So a very spread out timeline there for the luxury handbag brands when they started to come out. So what really put Delvaux on the map was when they came out with the Delvaux Brilliant bag that I was talking about earlier, and it was for the World Fair, and at the time it was just such a complex design, and it's still such a classic timeless piece today. Something stood the test of time when it's still around almost 100 years later. So what sets Delvaux apart, what kind of makes it a luxury leather brand, is its superior construction. Some of the pieces, like the Brilliant, are made of 64 individual pieces that take over 8 hours to put together. So that's kind of that, and the quality of the leathers they're using really separates them and kind of elevates the brand. And even the interiors of the bag are made of the softest leather. It's not just the outside and then kind of scrimping on the inside. The whole finish is pristine from start to finish. Another thing I really like about Delvaux that kind of separates it from me from places like Dior and Chanel is the choices of leather they use. Yes, they do have kind of exotics and kind of different materials, but their main line is either box calf leather or that kind of grained calf leather. So as much as I love the look and the aesthetic of lambskin, it's got that beautiful sheen, it feels really soft, I don't like that it scratches so easily and that the bags lose their structure over time, whereas I like a really structured bag. Slouchy bags, just the aesthetic isn't personally for me. So if you're looking kind of for that more structured bag, that more durable material, calfskin's the way to go, and the box is beautiful. It's still got that sheen to it, and if you wanted more of a durable bag that doesn't show scratches as much, it's still going to scratch, but it just doesn't show as much. Go for that kind of grained or the caviar calfskin. That's so easy to wipe down, versus the box leather. You have to be really careful if you get it wet because it can blister, which obviously is not what you want to happen to your bag. So just a few things to look for when choosing the leather of your bag. And then also the box and the caviar leather tend to be stiffer, so they tend to hold the shape of the bag better. So the reason Delvaux uses that leather is so the bags hold their structure. They're beautifully structured top handle bags, and the last thing you want is them collapsing on you. So getting that box or caviar leather, the bag is going to hold its shape so much better. But another pro tip is to buy a bag stuffer, or just to stuff it with something so that they hold their shape when you're storing them. Another thing that kind of sets Delvaux luxury leather goods apart is the option to personalize, which I think it's really nice to be able to customize things. I have a custom lipstick company, so I really appreciate the importance of being able to customize and personalize things. So you can kind of hot stamp them with either your initials, a date, a short name. The only thing with saying that, okay, so there's kind of like pros and minuses to personalizing bags. One, yes, it customizes it. I also think it deters theft because it's so hard to then resell it if it's got initials on. Also makes it much easier to trace. The only downside though, I think, is if you're planning on reselling it later on, it's going to make it a lot harder to resell, because what are the chances of finding someone else with the same initials as you? So just things to take into consideration whether you're deciding whether to personalize it or not. They do also offer personalized packaging. So if you don't want to personalize the bag, you could personalize the packaging. So I'm going to start with the Delvaux Tempete just because that's the one I have in my hands. So it comes in the beautiful dust bag, obviously with the crown there, with the 1829, the year it was founded. So let's take a peek. So this is the black grained leather Tempete. What I really liked about this bag is I haven't seen the gold on the flap before. Now this is my friend Mira, she lent it to me. She's like, she's so thoughtful, I have the best friend, she's so kind. She said, I just got these bags, she's got 3 different ones from them. Do you want to borrow them to shoot and to review? Well, absolutely, so that's kind of when I started doing more research on them. And she lent this one to me. So one of the things I really like is the D, obviously for Delvaux, but also for my last name, it couldn't be more perfect. The other thing that's really cool, I really like a bag with a top handle and a shoulder strap. It just gives you options. It makes it more versatile for the way you carry them. Now that leather is absolutely gorgeous. It is different. It's not the same as a Saffiano leather, which is kind of more uniform. This, you can see kind of, it's got so much detailing in the leather, and I think that's beautiful. You also have the option with these studs to have them done or undone, depending on your personal style. And then the release there, you press this to release that flap. The difference is it's a buckle fastening, and it is an actual buckle. It's not magnetic. So none of them are magnetic, which is kind of, again, pros or cons. So pros, it's harder for like someone to like reach into your purse and grab something, but also the buckle's gonna, I don't really like the buckle as much. It's too fiddly with nails. I don't want to chip my nails versus this is a really easy push release. So that'd be the difference in the aesthetic if you leave the studded details undone or done up. And obviously you have the Delvaux hot stamping in gold on the inside. Now what I love, oh my gosh, look at this lining. It is the most beautiful soft leather. And then on the inside you have, again, the keyring hook there. She hasn't even taken this, it's so brand new, bless her. I'm like, make sure you've used it before I borrow it. She's like, no, just borrow it. And then it obviously has the zipper compartment. I love a zipper, whether you're putting your credit card in there. And then on the other side, you have the pocket there, which you could put your phone in if you wanted to, just because the rest of it's obviously an open compartment. But the feel of this is absolutely gorgeous. You can tell the quality in the craftsmanship and the bag. And then it is slightly expandable on the side there. I personally wouldn't recommend overstuffing any of your bags, A, because you're going to stretch out the handles, but you can also change the shape, and you really want to preserve the shape of these bags as much as possible. I also like that it has the studded feet on them, which still has protective stickers on, because I feel like that just gives the bag so much more protection for the base of them, so it doesn't get all scratched up. Another thing I really like about this leather is it is more durable, and then it's not going to show scratches as much as a lambskin would. So definitely a winner there, because I hate scratch bags. I like mine to look pristine. I like keeping them in the dust bags, especially when you're spending this amount on a bag. Now the Tempete does come in 4 sizes. Tempete MM, which is going to be more of your statement bag. The PM for everyday. The small, and then the pochette clutch. And the beauty of the pochette clutch is it has a metallic chain, so that way you can convert it from day to night, or from a clutch to a shoulder bag. So just really cool features. There really is something like a style and a size for everybody, whatever you're doing, whatever you want to use it for. And it also comes in a ton of different colors. I really like the black for an everyday bag, but I have a beautiful kind of cream, a beautiful pink. I've got my eye on that one. And then they also do special editions and limited releases, but obviously you're going to pay a lot more for those bags. The Tempete's been around since 1967, that's when it was designed, and it was designed after the trapeze shape of sailboats. So that's kind of a bit of a history of it. They wanted it to be a really classic, elegant style that kind of like embodied coastal Europe. So people compare the Delvaux Tempete with the Hermes Kelly Cellier, and I can see where they're coming from. They're both timeless, elegant classics. They both have that top-handled, really structured, kind of triangular trapeze shape. But honestly, I don't think this is a dupe of the Hermes, and they're both so different in their own way. And for me, the biggest difference is the aesthetic of them. So I don't want to say one's more elegant than the other, but I feel like this one is more modern and contemporary with the studded details versus Hermes being a true classic elegant style. I feel like the Delvaux is more of a statement bag just because of the studded pieces on it. And then their most iconic bag is their Delvaux Brilliant bag, which everyone talks about first, but because I had this, that's why I talked about that one first. The Delvaux Brilliant was designed back in 1958 for the World Trade Fair, so the fact it's been around so long, that design really says something for how timeless it is. The Delvaux Brilliant bag is probably the most well-known and easiest to spot. It has that large curved D-shaped buckle, which obviously stands for Delvaux, and it is a real buckle, not a magnetic clasp, so you're gonna have to be okay doing the whole thing up, or you can just leave it kind of flap shut. And again, it's another structured top handle bag, which is what Delvaux is known for, but it also has the option to have the shoulder strap if that's kind of how you prefer to carry bags. And like the Tempete, it does come in lots of different sizes and colors and materials and special releases. And to me, it feels more of a statement bag. They do things like the Union Jack, and they do pearl and crystal embellishments. So if you're looking for a more classic style, I would go with the Tempete. If you're looking for more of a statement bag, I would go with the Brilliant. And one of the really nice features about the Brilliant is the different materials it comes in. So if you like a bag with more structure and that's more durable, go for their box leather in the Brilliant. If you like them slightly slouchier and more supple, go for the Rodeo or the crisp calf leather. And this is another Delvaux bag people are comparing to Hermes. So does it compare to the Hermes Kelly? Well, they're both a top handle, they're both single flap, they're both leather, but you're getting a totally different look and totally different price points for the two different brands. So there really is a Delvaux Brilliant bag for everybody. They come from a mini to an L XXL. So Delvaux's pricing is very similar to Moynard and Dior. Their wallets start at around $600 and they go all the way up to around just over $10,000 for the L XXL Brilliant tote. And then obviously with all brands, you're gonna pay slightly more for special editions or exotic materials. So now I've told you all about the Delvaux bags. If you're wondering where to get them, the best place is obviously in their boutiques. Yes, you can get them online on their website, but they do have very limited availability and a lot of them say not available online. So if you can get to one of their boutiques, they have an online store finder. There's lots and lots in Europe. I actually want to go to the one in New Bond Street in London this summer. So I might do a follow-up video to this with some of their newer styles on that, or a little YouTube short so you can see kind of what's in stock now. They're also in the United States, Japan, China, Taiwan. So they are a really internationally recognized brand. They're just more under the radar than a lot of others. If you can't get to a boutique, you can always buy a pre-loved bag online from somewhere like Fashion File or The Real Real. I really like Fashion File because they do free shipping, free returns if the bag isn't what you expected it to be. And a lot of the times you can find styles that you can't currently find in the stores, kind of some older models, and they often run sales. You can find a really good deal on there as well. So am I tempted to buy a Delvaux bag? I am, for the reasoning I would consider it if I was replacing my Prada Saffiano tote, because that green leather is very, very similar. I like the structured top handle bags. I like how practical they are. I like that they have the shoulder strap. The only thing I do like about the Prada that the Delvaux doesn't have is it has the two side zipper compartments to separate things a bit more. But I like the light color lining for the Delvaux because I feel like it's easier to find things in there. It's not just going in a black hole. So it's definitely a brand I would consider buying in the future. So in conclusion, do I think Delvaux is worth it? I definitely do. Now I've had my hands on them, I've felt them, I've used them. The quality is there, the craftsmanship, the leather feels amazing, the designs are very classic and timeless. So you're not buying a bag that's going to be out of style next year, you're buying one that's going to last you as long as you take care of it. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below, especially if you have one, if you've used one, your experience with them as well. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a quick thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching.